So Don Krieg versus Luffy is finally going down. The fight is happening and it's insane so far. It's going to show just the willpower of Luffy and what he can actually take. The durability of him is insane. He's literally taking explosions to the face like over and over again. That sounds crazy, but he is. And he's smiling too. But he's literally taking all of this damage and still smiling along the way. Do you know what I mean? It's actually crazy. You can tell how much Luffy loves fighting. Do you know what I mean? He loves it. And he's crazy. He's an insane person. Like even Zeph is saying it while he's watching it. You know, there's crazy people that go around. Sometimes you'll find them, and they will fight to the death. You know, that losing's basically not an option, and that's what this fight feels like. It genuinely feels like a death match between an absolute psychopath and another psychopath who's got better morals. Do you know what I mean? But as always, I'm getting ahead of myself. At the beginning of this episode, we saw the explosion from the poison bomb that Don Krieg fired in the last episode, and the person that got it the absolute worst was Gin. You could see at the beginning through this episode, his skin's gone purple. He's bleeding literally from like his eyes and his nose and his mouth. He can't breathe. You know, he just inhaled a shit ton of poison. And that is Don Krieg's most loyal subordinate. Everybody was saying it. Out of all of Don Krieg's pirates, he was the most loyal to him. You know, he stuck by his side. He was always doing what Don Krieg needed. He was his most loyal subordinate. And the fact that Don Krieg did that to him, he didn't give a shit. In fact, he was laughing at the fact that Gin was on the verge of death in agony. It goes to show what kind of piece of shit Don Krieg is. And seeing Luffy actually get to smack him was so satisfying. As always, One Piece does an amazing job of building up the villains to a point where you just want to see them get destroyed. So when they actually do, when the fights actually do happen and they are getting what's coming to them, it is the best feeling in the world. Like, it's so fun to see these guys just get beat up. Like at the very start of this fight, the first punch that Luffy landed, he punches him through like a spike shield that Don Krieg makes. You think this thing's going to protect him, but Luffy just punches straight through it. And also, Luffy took some bullets from Don Krieg, like some sharp ones, and he, like, when he landed, he pulled them out and there was blood everywhere, and Luffy's just standing there fucking menacingly. Luffy is one of the most badass protagonists there is. Like, honestly, the dude, like I said, he's a psycho, but he's just so cool. And like when he's fighting, he's scary. I think the thing that pisses off Luffy the most is when, at least what we've seen so far, we saw it with Captain Kuro and we're seeing it with Don Krieg, and that's when a pirate captain is really shitty to their subordinates, you know, is really upsetting the way that he treated Gin. And you could see that's the thing that annoyed him the most. That's the thing that made Luffy want to attack and kill Don Krieg more than anything, was the way that he treated Gin after the loyalty that Gin showed him. I think it goes to show Luffy's character and the way he is as a captain with his crew members. You know, he looks at his crew members as his friends. So when he sees this sort of thing from like Don Krieg or Captain Kuro, it really fucking pisses him off. And like I said, that's the last thing you want to do. I think it's clear in this fight that Luffy, in terms of skill and power, like general power, is a lot stronger than Don Krieg. You know, if Don Krieg didn't have all these weapons and all this armor, he probably wouldn't be like considered the strongest. It's because of the size of his army, and obviously these weapons that he uses. He's obviously not weak, but I think Luffy overall is stronger. But, you know, Don Krieg just has these advantages with his weapons and stuff at the moment. It's scary when you're watching these battles and Luffy's just above the water at all times, especially now where he's basically just jumping across different bits of debris of the boat. Just at any moment, it feels like Luffy could get knocked into the water and like drown essentially. So that adds some extra tension for sure. But this fight is awesome so far, and I'm enjoying seeing Luffy smack Don Krieg around whenever he does. It's great. It's very fun to watch. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying this fight so far. So let's keep it going.